Reading with King Guinea Pig, Part 1. Humphrey's Tiny Tales. My really, really racing day. On my front page 1. That's on. Chapter 1. A really great weekend. It was Friday afternoon, room 26 of Longfellow's school, and I was spinning on my hamster wheel, trying to stay calm. Fridays are always exciting, especially for me. Every Friday afternoon, I get to go home with a different classmate. I'm the best part about. That's the best. It's the best part of my job as a classroom pet. Of course, Mrs. Brisbane already knew whose turn it was because she plans my visits with the parents, but sometimes she forgets to tell me. Who would it be this week? Will it be lower your voice, AJ, whose family likes to talk, or would I go to Speak Up's Sayers, I don't know how to say that, house, where everyone speaks quiet? Mrs. Brisbane, who was taking Humphrey home, Hetty Hopper asked. Raise your hand, Heidi, Mrs. Brisbane told her. Heidi forgets to raise her hand sometimes. I am Mandy Payne, she said, I believe. I believe that's what she said. She forgot to raise her hand too. That clock must be stuck. It's taken forever to get to the end of the day, Mandy complained. Don't complain, Mandy Payne. Used to complain about a lot of things, but since she got her own hamster, Winky, she doesn't complain as much. I can't wait, I shouted. My friends giggled, even though all they heard me say was, squeak, squeak, squeak. Just then the clock hand moved and the bell rang. The end of the day had finally come. My friend Og splashed loudly in his tank. He's a classroom pet too, but he doesn't go home with students at the weekend because he doesn't have to be fed every day like I do. I'll tell you all about my weekend at Mandy's when I get back, I squeaked. Boing, 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 he replied, hopping up and down. He makes a funny sound because he's a funny frog. Soon, Mandy's mum arrives to pick us up. Humphrey! A tiny voice shouted. It was Mandy's little brother. Hi, Brian, I squeaked back. His name is Brian, but he calls himself Brian. Mandy's younger sisters, Pammy and Tammy, rushed to my cage. I'm going to take care of you, Humphrey, Pammy said. No, I'm going to take care of you, Humphrey, Tammy said. The girls are twins, but they don't look at all alike. I'm going to take care of Humphrey because he's my classroom pet, Mandy said. It wasn't easy, but soon Mrs. Payne had all 4 children, my cage, my food, and me in the car. It took forever to get the Paynes to get to the Payne's house, and Mrs. Payne had to get all 4 children, my cage, my food, and me into the house. That took even longer. But at last my cage was on a table in the living room, but right next to Winky's cage. Hi, Humphrey, Winky said. When Winky was born, one of his eyes didn't open so he always looks like he's winking. Hi, Winky, I replied. How are things going? Everything is hamsterific with me, he squeaked. Same with me, I said. Winky is the only one I know who can understand my squeaks because he's a hamster too. Glad you could visit, Hump, Winky said. Wait until you see my wheels. I looked closely at Winky. He had 4 paws just like me, but I didn't see any wheels. What wheels? I asked. Man, that's a broken page. Makes sense, it's an ancient book. My car, he said. The paint's got me my very own car. I had a lovely big cage, a wheel for spinning, and a mirror, and a little bell, and a hamster ball, but I did not have a car. Look at them, they're talking, Mandy squealed. Tammy, and Brian, all giggled. What are you talking about? Mandy said. Oh, I know, Humphrey wants to see Winky's car. Before I knew it, what was happening, Mandy took Winky out of his cage and put him into a hamster-sized car. It was bright blue and had 4 wheels. In the middle was a bigger wheel, like the wheel I spin on. This was a really wheelie car. It's unsqueakably wonderful, I said. Watch this. Mandy put Winky in the big wheel and started spinning. As the wheel spun, the car began to roll. Mandy took me out of my cage and held me in her hand so I could watch. Go, Winky, I squealed. Go, Winky, go! Pammy, Tammy, and Brian shouted. Winky made the wheel go faster and faster. Zoom! The car glided across the room. Mandy picked the car up and turned it around. Zoom! The car glided across the room in the other direction. Go, Winky, go! Mandy shouted. I think I have a wonderful life as a classroom pet in room 26, but I think it's the best life a hamster could ever have. But I had to admit, I was a tiny, tiny, tiny bit jealous of Winky. I wanted to have a really wheelie car on. After a while, Mandy stopped the car and took Winky out. I don't want you to get tired, she said, as she put him back in the cage. Thanks, Mandy, he squeaked. Of course, I was the only one who could understand him. Do you mind sharing? She asked Winky. Winky squeaked, no, ooh. Before I knew what was happening, Mandy put me in the car. The car felt a lot like my yellow hamster ball. Oh, come on, let me turn the page. How many? Oh, I can do that. But this was no everyday hamster ball. This was a really wheelie car. I started spinning on the wheel. Zoom! The car launched forward. Zoom! I spun even faster, and the car rolled across the room. I spun faster and faster. Zoom! Zoom! Go, Humphrey, go! Mandy shouted. Go, go, go! Pammy, Tammy, and Brian shouted. I was going a little too fast, and the car slammed into a wall. Zoom! The car spun around and rolled in a different direction. Isn't it funny, Winky squared? It's the most fun I've ever had, I shouted. Zoom, zoom, zoom! I could have spun that wheel forever. For the rest of the weekend, Winky and I took turns racing the bright blue car. Sometimes Mandy put me in my hamster ball so Winky and I could roll along next to each other. It was fun, but my hamster ball doesn't have wheels. If you had a car, we could have a real race, Winky said. I hope I'll have a really wheelie car of my own someday, I told Winky on Sunday night. I hope so too, Humphrey, Winky said with a wink. I really do. Chapter 2. Zoom, zoom, zoom around the room. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you next time.